Our journey begins with a name that needs no introduction. Harry. Made famous by a certain young wizard, Harry, meaning army ruler, is a name that exudes charisma and a touch of mischief. Next we have Emma, brought to life by the brilliant Emma Watson. Meaning universal, Emma speaks to strength and intelligence. George, synonymous with charm, brings to mind George Clooney. This classic name, meaning farmer, embodies dependability. Chapter 4. Olivia. Olivia, made radiant by the talented Olivia Colman, is a name that evokes peace and tranquility, much like the olive tree from which it originates. David, a name that needs no introduction, eternally linked with global icon David Beckham. Beloved, David captivates hearts worldwide. Sophie, brought to life by the captivating Sophie Turner, whispers of wisdom and quiet strength. William. William, a name echoing through history and royalty, embodied by Prince William. This regal name, meaning resolute protector, speaks to a steadfast and courageous spirit. Amelia, forever linked with the pioneering spirit of Amelia Earhart, is a name that embodies a spirit of adventure, dedication to work and achievement. James, a name that resonates with strength and charisma, brought to life by James McAvoy. It means supplanter. Charlotte, a name forever entwined with the literary genius of Charlotte Bronte, embodies a free spirit and unyielding determination. Henry. Henry, a name that exudes regality and strength, embodied by the charismatic Henry Cavill. Meaning ruler of the household, Henry speaks to natural leadership. Lily. Lily, a name as delicate and beautiful as the flower, is personified by the graceful Lily James. This name evokes a sense of purity and innocence. Edward. Edward, a name that whispers of nobility and strength, is embodied by the talented Edward Norton. This classic name, meaning wealthy guardian, speaks to a protective and responsible nature. Isabella. Isabella, a name that rolls off the tongue with elegance and grace, embodied by the stunning Isabella Rossellini. Meaning devoted to God, Isabella speaks to deep faith and spirituality. Arthur. Arthur, a name that conjures images of bravery and chivalry, finds its embodiment in Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. This name, meaning bear, speaks to a strength both physical and mental. Mia. Mia, a name as captivating and enigmatic as the actress Mia Farrow, holds a sense of mystery. This short and sweet name simply means mine. Thomas. Thomas, a name echoing literary brilliance, is linked with Thomas Hardy. This classic name, meaning twin, speaks to duality. Grace. Grace, a name that embodies elegance and poise, finds its perfect embodiment in the timeless Grace Kelly. This name speaks for itself, evoking effortless beauty and refinement. Alexander, a name that resonates with power and leadership, embodied by the charismatic Alexander Skarsgård. Meaning defender of the people, Alexander speaks to justice and fighting for what's right. Ella, a name as smooth and enchanting as the voice of Ella Fitzgerald, evokes magic and wonder. This charming name means fairy maiden. Charles, a name that has graced kings and literary giants alike, embodied by the incomparable Charles Dickens. This classic name, meaning free man, speaks to an independent and adventurous spirit. Chapter 22. Alice. Alice, a name that conjures wonderland and adventure, is brought to life by Alice Cooper. This classic name, meaning noble, speaks to a kind and generous heart. Samuel, a name that resonates with strength and authority, embodied by the incomparable Samuel L. Jackson. This name means heard by God. Emily. Emily, a name that exudes intelligence and quiet strength, is embodied by the talented Emily Blunt. This classic name, meaning rival, speaks to a determined and ambitious spirit. Michael, a name that needs no introduction, eternally linked with the legendary Michael Caine. Jessica. Jessica, a name that exudes warmth and approachability, embodied by Jessica Alba. This name means God beholds. Robert. Robert, a name that has graced kings and stars alike, is embodied by the charismatic Robert Pattinson. This classic name, meaning bright fame, speaks to natural charisma and captivating presence. Victoria, a name that embodies regality and triumph, is personified by the iconic Victoria Beckham. This name simply means victory. Daniel, a name that resonates with strength, is embodied by the talented Daniel Radcliffe. It means God is my judge. Mary, a name that echoes through history and literature, is forever entwined with the brilliant Mary Shelley. This classic name, meaning bitter, speaks to a complex, resilient character. Richard, a name that exudes power and leadership, embodied by the charismatic Richard Gere. This classic name, meaning brave ruler, speaks to natural authority and courage. Sarah, a name that has graced both biblical figures and modern-day icons, is embodied by Sarah Jessica Parker. This classic name, meaning princess, speaks to a regal and elegant nature. Joseph, a name that resonates with kindness and family, is embodied by the talented Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Elizabeth, a name that echoes through history and royalty, is eternally linked with the legendary Elizabeth Taylor. This regal name, meaning God is my oath, speaks to faith and loyalty. Matthew, a name that resonates with warmth and approachability, embodied by the charismatic Matthew McConaughey. It means gift of God. Catherine, a name exuding elegance and grace, embodied by Catherine Zeta-Jones. This classic name means pure and innocent. Anthony, a name that resonates with strength and determination, embodied by the legendary Anthony Hopkins. This classic name means priceless one. Margaret, a name that has graced both queens and prime ministers, is embodied by the formidable Margaret Thatcher. This classic name, meaning pearl, speaks to a rare and precious beauty. Christopher, a name that resonates with adventure and purpose, is embodied by visionary director Christopher Nolan. It means Christ-bearer. Jane, a name that echoes with literary brilliance and strength, is forever linked with Jane Austen. It means God is gracious. Paul, a name that has graced apostles and music legends alike, embodied by the one and only Paul McCartney. This classic name, meaning small, speaks to a humble and approachable nature. Helen, a name that has launched 1,000 ships and captivated audiences for centuries, embodied by the talented Helen Mirren. This classic name, meaning light, speaks to a radiant presence. Andrew, a name that resonates with strength and kindness, is embodied by the talented Andrew Garfield. It means manly. Rebecca, a name that exudes quiet strength and determination, is embodied by the talented Rebecca Ferguson. It means to tie. Stephen, a name that has graced saints and horror writers, is embodied by the master of suspense, Stephen King. This classic name, meaning crown, speaks to a regal and commanding presence. Laura, a name that evokes strength and resilience embodied by the talented Laura Dern. This classic name meaning laurel speaks to a victorious spirit. Patrick, a name that resonates with charm and a twinkle, is embodied by the legendary Patrick Stewart. It means nobleman. Julia, a name that exudes warmth and a captivating presence, embodied by the talented Julia Roberts. This classic name means youthful. Mark, a name that resonates with strength and determination, is embodied by the talented Mark Ruffalo. This classic name means warlike. And finally we come to Anna, a name as classic and elegant as the actress Anna Kendrick. This lovely name means